Welcome to today's episode of WooNews TV, where the topic is secrets to success. If you are trying to have more success in your business or in your life, you want to watch today's show. My guest today is Jan Kabbani, who is a powerhouse residential real estate agent here in the Arizona Phoenix metropolitan area. Jan has been named in 1% in the year 2020 and 2021, right, Jan?
That's correct.
Now, if you all can look back not that long ago, you will remember that that's the time the market started changing, business started changing, because that's when COVID was going on. So she clearly has some key strategies. She's had a successful real estate career since she started, and she has some good strategies that she implements for her life and for her business. And today she's going to share those with us. Thank you, Jan, for being here.
You're very welcome.
So, Jan, tell us about your career.
Well, I started in the year 2000 out of necessity. I found myself in a life transition, not a happy one, by the way. And I was a single mom with a small child. And I started to think about, though, at this stage of my life, I didn't want to choose a career, something I didn't like. I had to focus on something that brought me joy, that was positive. And I started matching up my skills. And I always thought I was very good with people, but I could read people. I had some sort of intuition about who made the decisions, who was the decision maker. And I was always able to sort of use my instincts. I call it instincts, but I was good with that. And then I was also very good in marketing, and I enjoyed marketing. And so I started matching my skills with things I thought, well, what can I use my skills, be happy and make money and take care of my son and myself. And that's what I did. I went into real estate, and it was an excellent match for my skills. I was very fearful, though, to go into a career like that at that time, because it's a 100% commission-based business.
Right.
So there was a lot of fear. But I just trusted a higher power, a higher energy to take care of me. And
what had you done before that, Jan?
I worked in marketing for an optical superstore when I was married, and we built the chain of optical superstores in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. We sold our business in 1989 to lens crafters.
Oh.
So I had a very strong marketing creative side that I utilized in our past business.
Okay. So where is your business today? Where are you with your business?
I would say my business is I had my record year last year. I feel like I've worked really hard, but I think there's a bit of timing and luck in things, because I've been successful now for 22 years, and my business just keeps growing. But I think it's growing in a better direction now. I'm more focused on what I want to do, how I want to do it, staying true to yourself.
As opposed to having to do what you have to do to get where you need to be next. Is that what you mean?
Well, in real estate school, they teach you how to do things. There's a set way, cold calling, these kind of things they suggest for you to do. And I've never done any of that. I just have focused on, one-to-one with people. I built my business through open houses. I did a lot of open houses in the beginning, and people got to know me.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me like 3 years to really build a base with open houses. But then after that, people would say, Jan, we've seen you for weeks at this open house. When we get ready to list our home, we're going to call you. And that they would. And that's really how I built my business, was through open houses and then staying in touch with those people. Through just good communication, listening to, their son now is moving here, their daughter is having a baby, all the life transitions that people go through. It's all related to real estate.
So I'm curious, why didn't you do the other things that the real estate school teaches you? Just didn't resonate?
It just didn't work for me. I tried to focus on what I was good at, and that propelled my business. Now there's other people that are very successful doing that. They spend 2 or 3 hours a day cold calling, or I guess they think if they call enough people, they'll get a positive answer. I was always kind of the opposite. I was afraid. I didn't want the rejection of calling somebody and they're like, why are you calling me?
Yeah, that's a tough thing to do. I wouldn't want to do that either. I think open houses,
it just wasn't my style.
Yeah, the face-to-face, and you're a very personable, warm, and approachable person, so I could see how open houses would work better for you.
But then now my business is a lot referrals. It's like past clients and referrals. I don't even have to sell myself now, because the clients I've dealt with in the past, they refer me. And once somebody makes a referral to you, it's an obligation, but it's a privilege, because you're just walking on water from the day you meet. They've heard so many things about you. It's kind of hard to live up to, but it's you don't have to sell yourself.
Right. Okay, let's talk about your typical day. And so you are where you are now. You're highly established. You are top producer in a city of 5 million-ish people. I don't even know how many realtors there are here. But I want to talk about your typical day, and now, or the beginning, or throughout your whole career. What do you do? How did you get here, Dan?
I start my day. I have to get a good night's sleep. I'm a 10-hour sleeper. I like to. I feel really fresh and ready to challenge the world when I've had a good night's sleep. But I wake up the minute my eyes open. I start to, I don't know if you call it meditation or prayer, or I wake up with prayer and gratefulness. I'm very grateful. I start to go down the list of what I'm grateful for and why I'm grateful for it.
Nice.
And I just spend my I would say probably my first 30 minutes just being grateful and going over that in my mind and my focus. That's what kind of centers me.
Well, it's been said that the more gratitude and appreciation you feel, literally the more things you bring into your life to be grateful for. It literally creates more things to be grateful for. It's not just staying positive and being lighter. It's also bringing you more of that too.
I think that's very true, because, after that, my day becomes like, or my thoughts go to, okay, what are my challenges for today? Mm-hmm. And some of the things I even say is, give me the words to say, give me the right things to say to this client today, or help me to listen to this client. Help me not to speak so much, help me to listen more.
And who are you saying that to?
I'm saying that to God.
Okay.
To a spirituality, someone higher.
Okay.
I do believe that it guides my life every day.
Okay. So after you have your gratitude and you ask for the right words to say throughout that day, then what do?
I have coffee.
Just like the rest of us, huh?
I have, but I've learned to limit my caffeine. I have a decaf, and then I have, maybe 1 cup of real coffee, and then I come into this office and I have a printed out. I still handwrite little notes to myself, and I have I would say it's like a really short to-do list. But I come into this office and I focus. I look over here at this, I call it my affirmations board. And I have over there homes that I've sold, which motivate me to sell more. And then I have my new listings coming. And then I have statements or handwritten things for my personal that I want to go, or I want to, well, the one about the pool on the bottom is one of my affirmations this year is I wanted to redo my pool and I wanted it to look like that. So all kinds of personal things go up there, but it's, I don't know, seeing it visually just reminds me every day, this is what you're working for. This is what your challenges are, but look at the rewards that you're going to have in store for yourself.
Nice.
And then I sit at this desk and I start to go down my list of, the things that my calls I'm going to make. I'm always touching base with my clients. I try to connect with them at least once a week about what's going on, what's not going on. You just have to communicate with people. Sometimes you don't have anything to say to them, or anything new, but they just like hearing from you. It's just communicating. People are human beings and they want to be touched and they want to hear your voice.
Yeah, they don't want to feel abandoned.
Yes. So I think, good communication is key. You have to stay in touch with your clients. I try to reach out to every one of them at least by Monday or Tuesday.
Nice.
I send them reports, what's going on with their listing, what marketing challenges I'm doing, so they know I have my eye on the ball on their house. The challenge in real estate is you have to make the person feel like they are the only client. And that's sometimes a real challenge, but they don't care about all the other people. They're only concerned about their property, and it's a big investment. It's their largest investment.
One of the things I wanted to cover today was some of the challenges that you have faced or continue to face and how you've overcome them. So what do you do with how do you incorporate more balance? Are you more mindful of it now?
I think what remains to be my biggest challenge in 22 years is time management. You have to be on constantly. Like I could go out and say, oh, I'm going to have a nice dinner tonight. And then I'll run into 3 people that want to talk real estate. And so you're always on, I call it. You can never go off, but you've got to, be upbeat and, they look to you for information. So that's a challenge, having time to like bring yourself down to, to really rest and enjoy some private time.
Do you literally schedule in decompression time? Do you have to schedule that in like before you go to bed or something?
I've learned to plan better. Like for me, it's having my mornings. So I'm very strict about that. If somebody wants to meet early, I'll say, well, that really doesn't work for me, but this time would work. So I try to, see my clients, be with my clients when I'm at my best. And so my morning time I call it my time. I need that time to get myself focused, meditate, whatever I'm doing. I need to have that time. So I've just learned over the years to plan it better, and I've learned to control the conversation better. I'll say to that person, that time doesn't work for me, but this one does. And they usually are flexible.
Sure. Well, they don't know why that time isn't good for you, right?
Yeah.
They don't know that you're not,
they think you have another appointment. They think,
right, exactly.
So okay. it all works. And they're usually very accommodating. I just had to learn how to do that.
Yeah. So let me ask you, some of these things you've talked about, because you're a very positive person, and I know you bring that energy. It seems you're very deliberate about bringing that energy into what you do. Have you always been that way, Jan?
I think I have. I always see the cup half full, not half empty. I believe there's good in people, even in our crazy world we're living in today. I think there's good, and people love being around somebody that's upbeat and positive. I think it's contagious.
Yeah,
You know,
I would imagine. I think so too. What would you
I
say to
think
people that aren't like that though? What would you say to people that aren't you?
I know exactly what I say to them because I have some of them in my business. I've run into them. I just say, "Are you having a bad day today?
Mhm.
Are you not, are you missing something in your day today?" And that I think when you ask somebody a question like that, they come back and they're like, "Wow, I must have really came across as being in a bad mood." So, so it makes them look at themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I try to, I try to just just turn it into something positive. When somebody's being really negative or coming at you from that, I just turn it back into a smile, and it's really hard for somebody to not be nice to
Mhm.
somebody that's being really nice to them.
Right. It's easier to be a jerk to somebody who's being a jerk, but if they're being
Yes.
nice, yeah, yeah. So do you contribute these practices of yours to your success? Do you see how it's helped? Or is this just you being you
Oh,
and
I absolutely think it helps my success. People want to do business with somebody they think is positive, but
Mhm.
that they're going to have fun with. I have fun with my clients. We usually my clients become my friends, and we go out to dinner. And I know a lot of businesses try to caution you that that's not a good line to cross, but I become like part of their family. I'm in their home as probably more than their children, their grown children that have left the nest. So, so these people become really close to me. We become good friends, and it's a big responsibility, but it's a privilege too.
Right. So from a spiritual perspective, since what you do is spiritual based, or it can be, doesn't have, you don't even have to use that word, but there's a function behind what you do. But so from a spiritual perspective, I want to share with everyone that I see your practice creating success for a multitude of reasons. The you as soon as you wake up, you connect with your higher self, with source, whatever you call it. You wake up and you connect with gratitude. Your heart starts opening more, you're more expansive, and you're bringing that energy of gratitude and reasons to be grateful to you, and therefore out. Because as I always say in my show, everything is energy. The internal world is a reflection of your external world. Your internal world is a reflection of your external world. And as everything is energy, as you keep your frequency high, you help the collective and you help those around you raise their frequency. So that's part of the reason I see as you having so much success. And the vision board makes it so tangible. And like you said, the constant reminder. There's a book out there called Psycho-Cybernetics. Have you heard about it, Jan?
No, I don't know that.
It's years old, and it was written by, I believe he's a psychiatrist. He's a doctor of some kind. I think he's a psychiatrist, but there's a lot of books about thinking things and then manifesting them, but this one goes into the nitty gritty of the neurology of it and the neuroscience behind it. And some of the examples he used are for example, of a golfer who wants to improve his game. And instead of physically going out there and practicing his swing, he practices it in his mind, exactly how he's going to do it, what it's going to feel like, where his feet are going to be placed, every nuance of it, he practices daily. And then when he goes out to that tournament, that's how he hits the ball.
Wow.
And yeah, and isn't that crazy? It's a great book. But that's
Well, and that's really a little bit of what I do. I think it in my mind, then I say the words, and then my words become my actions. And then I mean that's how it works for me.
and your vision board brings it all. It's just another. Some
Just,
people are more visual. It brings it all more clear.
yes, and I'm very big on that board and my notes. just writing it down like the night before. Just seeing that ink go on the paper the old fashioned way, not speaking into your iPad. I want to visually write it down. I have a notepad right by the couch. That's kind of the last thing I do at night. I do my little short to-do list because I want those visuals right in front of my computer after I make my morning sweep into the office.
Well, there's something to be said. I believe there's some true connection from your brain to writing, how it does something.
It does for me. It really works
for me too.
And I know it's sort of an old-fashioned thing these days, but it really does work for me.
Oh, I have sticky pads all over my office with notes. Not necessarily organized, but so have you been doing this from the beginning since you started real estate, Jan? Or did you develop
it? Always.
And did you do this in your previous business?
I don't remember so much doing this because I was in marketing and it was a more structured, like 8 to 5 kind of thing. And I never had so much flexibility with your time as a realtor. A lot of people go into this business thinking, wow, I'm just going to, I have all this time and I can do it. I can work in my pajamas. And no. I get up every day. I get dressed. I come in this office just like it is a business. It's the discipline.
Right.
I just have a discipline. And I will say I've always been very disciplined. I do the same things over and over and over again. I don't get tired of doing them. And I just attach that positive energy to it. And I think good attracts good.
Okay, so you start out your morning right. Well, you have your system for that. You have your vision board that brings it all into your purview on a regular basis. You stay positive. You're disciplined. Am I missing anything?
And I think over the years, I've learned to be a better listener. I listen to people. I think if you really stop and listen to people, and, I'm talking about with your ears, not with, you really, they tell you what their needs are. And I think, being a good listener is something I've had to work on my whole career. And, you just keep getting better and better at it. And that really ties to your success.
Okay, I'm going to throw you a curveball, Jan. Can you translate this system of yours or some parts of the system to other areas of one's life where they might want more success?
Like your personal life, you mean?
Right. Yeah. Like if you have a health goal or a relationship goal or something of that.
Well, I think it would work for everything because, if you have a health issue and you wake up and you start thinking about that and it becomes your focus to a higher power will help you with that because he helps us with everything. So if that becomes your focus, yes, it could work for your health goals. It could work for a better relationship with your children, a better, relationship with your mate. But I think it starts within you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the inner creates the outer.
What I have gotten better about, and I think I've really improved about, and it has all to do with the positive start in myself, is I've learned to not work with every single person. Mm-hmm. It doesn't always, I'm not always a good match. Maybe their energy's not going to lead me in a positive direction. So I've learned to walk away from things like that in a very nice way.
Excuse me. In a very nice way. Of course, you're Southern, Dan. Do you believe that is something everyone should be more mindful of, even if they're building their career? I mean, you have a luxury of doing that now, but have you always done that? Because I believe that if you match your energy, it's always going to guide you and create.
Oh, I wish
We
I
get
had
in such fear of not doing that and missing out on an opportunity when we're especially early on that we just push through.
I wish I had done it much earlier in my career. I think, when I first started 22 years ago, I was very hungry and, surviving was
Sure.
key. So I didn't have the luxury to always steer away from someone. But what I found over the years is if I attach myself to that negative energy, then another negative energy
Right.
came. I think what I've learned over the years, if I just steer clear, stay true to people that are positive, that we're both going to help each other, then more positive people come behind them. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
So I wish I had, learned to be better at that sooner in my career. But it's never too late.
No, it's like it's never too late. It's never too late. Do you have any final words of wisdom or advice, Jan, for people to mimic you in some ways, or how they should approach their
This
success?
is going to seem really simple, but answer your own phone.
Okay.
Be on time. Have a real, I took a listing this week and the lady has been so nice. She goes, I can't believe you're always early. I have a saying, 15 minutes early is late.
My father used to say that too. If you're on time he used to say, if you're on time for a meeting, you're too late. You're 10 minutes too late.
But maybe that's a Southern thing too. We respect other people's time. I just think time is the best consideration of a person. When you're there on time, you've got your presentation ready and they only have a short period of time. It's just very positive. So those are simple little things, but they really do work. Answer your own phone and be on time.
And any last parting spiritual advice or spiritual practice advice?
Be grateful every day and be happy every day. Because people want to have happiness. They love to be around it. It's contagious. So share your happiness, be upbeat and positive, however you have to get there. It's really important in any career, I think.
Well, I think everyone can see why I wanted to have you on the show because I know your approach. You shared this with me a long time ago, and I've always felt your energy as being very, very embracing, very high vibration, very welcoming, very approachable. And you really do. Not only have you created good success in your own life, Jan, but you really do impact those around you with just you being you, with you holding the space that you hold, carrying the energy and the vibration that you do. You impact everybody around you. You really do. Not just your clients, but everybody who knows you, and even strangers who just you run into at the department store, like I saw you whenever that was last year or something.
Yes. Well, that's very kind. And, I think the other thing is in our business, you try to stay humble. There's a lot of people with egos and
Everywhere. Ugh.
I think if you just remain humble, people love your success as long as it's attached to being humble. That's what I think.
Nice. That's good word. There's a saying. This is a little bit different, but kind of a different angle. But it's about it's an approach to what love really is, and it says, "Be strong enough to lean, be big enough to be small, and be generous enough to receive." Because we're usually giving so much that we don't give people the opportunity to give back to us, and that's also an aspect of being loving and of love. And but it's the being big enough to be small is about the humility of it all.
Absolutely.
You don't have to let everyone know you're here. They just just show up.
Just show up.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
hope everyone enjoyed this, and thanks so much.